Good morning, everybody in podcast world, wherever you are. This is Judgmentalist. I was getting some tips on how to be a better podcaster, how to be a better content creator, and they said jump to it. Give them something that's going to hook them right away. So what do? We play 30 seconds of absolutely nothing but a countdown. And hopefully you're still here. Hopefully you're still listening. Whatever it is, we're bringing it to you. And here's Big Sexy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this is hitting your ear holes. I hope that it is good. Yeah. How are things, amigo?
Things are good. Things are good. We somebody in the house has tested positive for the vid, so we did the whole quarantine Ruski.
Right.
So far I am still out here like Neo in the Matrix, dodging some bullets that don't exist.
That's good.
And very much do exist, but they haven't hit me yet. Knock on wood. And when stuff like that happens and you don't get got, but you anticipate it, it allowed us to put a banked episode on the books earlier this week because I wanted to just anticipate just in case. And now we got a little extra firepower in the barrel for when something does hit the fan. Other than that, we are up here. I'm experiencing the typically bipolar, unanticipated weather that the state of Maryland has anytime, every day. So it's like super nice outside right now, even though it is October 31st.
Happy Halloween.
Cold. Yep. Happy Halloween. No costumes, no shenanigans here. You got to go up the ladder to the other podcast to get the vampire Bill Cosby and other shit like that, whatever they're doing this year.
Right. The creepy holiday characters. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not the kind of entertainer and improviser who does a lot of different characters and different voices and things of that nature. That's not my forte. I kind of wish it was. It'd be a lot of fun to do some of that kind of stuff, but you gotta go with what your strengths are.
Yeah. Now, Halloween, not a thing in Mexico because they celebrate the Day of the Dead and other things like that. Do they also do Halloween?
There's enough American expats here that Halloween is also a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Halloween, and then tomorrow and Saturday are Dia de los Muertos.
Okay.
I guess it'd be Dias de los Muertos. But of course, they celebrate the entire weekend.
At some point in time, it's Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, and then as time drags on and more and more and more and more and more people die, you're eventually going to need 2 days. And several generations from now, they'll probably need 3.
Yeah. Soon they'll need it'll be 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's always the 1st and 2nd of November. I think it is kind of like Halloween. But yeah, so we're getting ready for it by doing absolutely nothing. We haven't really prepared anything. Wife is looking to get our faces painted for Dia de los Muertos, so listeners, stay tuned for that. Check out the Instagram and the socials.
Going all sugar skull.
Yeah.
That's the look.
Well, I don't have any other costume here. I'm not gonna go buy a costume. I do have my glittery disco shirt and some black slacks. So I'm thinking my glittery disco shirt, black slacks, and a painted face. Dia de los Muertos done. Yeah.
There you go.
So we're getting ready for that. Actually, the most thing we're getting ready for is tonight's Toastmasters. As of this recording, and Nilla, my beautiful and amazing wife, has her first speech tonight. She's doing her icebreaker. The theme tonight, of course, is Halloween. Oh, original.
Yeah.
But
how did things go with the prompts that we were working through last week?
Which prompts?
You had to come up with a series of different
for the table topics.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah, I did my table topics went over swimmingly. As it were. As a matter of fact, I can let's go over those now that it has happened. I can tell our listeners what they were. And then listeners, feel free to chime in. Go ahead and send us an email at bigsexynomad@gmail.com. And if you have an answer to these, let us know what that would be.
Yeah.
The first one was discuss your favorite costume as a child. Did you have one of those?
So obviously, like you, I'm from the era that a lot of our Halloween costumes, child of the 80s, 90s era was the box that had some sort of, you'd wear it over you, and then that plastic, you couldn't really breathe in it, mask with the rubber
Right.
band around the back with two tiny
The-
little pinholes for your nose and the eye holes.
yes.
So, and you could see the mask through, like the box was set up so that it was like, that plastic see-through thing, but some of them had like the cutout, so some of the mask would poke out of it. Like that was
Right.
the go-to when I was growing up for the most part. And I was a big He-Man fan. So I vividly remember having a He-Man one, but I know that over the years I had multiple other ones.
A wide variety, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely had Spider-Man and Superman. I've been a nerd with superheroes so long as I can remember. So I remember having those. Do you remember Underoos?
I do.
I owned the entire set of Underoos.
Mm.
Every time they came out with a new set of Underoos, my mom would get them for me. So I had them all. I had Spider-Man, Superman, the Incredible Hulk, Batman, Green Lantern, the Flash. There was a Wolverine's Underoos.
He-Man made the Underoos.
I had a He-Man Underoos. Anytime they were cute and they were cool and they were fun, and I'd run around the house in my Underoos pretending to be the superhero of the day. Yeah. My favorite costume as a kid, though, I don't remember. I think it was, it was the same thing you just mentioned, like the plastic face mask. And I remember when I got a little bit older, I had this really kick-ass werewolf mask, but it was like, the latex and the big rubber mask, but you put over your entire head. And then I had a fuzzy brown coat that I would wear with it. It wasn't an actual werewolf jacket. It was just a fuzzy brown coat and some khaki pants. Ooh. And then I had, eventually I got some shorts that I tattered at the end to be my shorts. I love that werewolf outfit. I wore that for many, many a year. Yeah. All right. This next one is specifically geared at, well, it's not. I kind of try to get it for everybody. So number 2, tell us a tradition you had as a child that you passed on to your own children or to children in your family or vicinity if you don't have children of your own. Do you have any family tradition or any tradition that you did as a kid that you did when your children, when you became a parent?
I want to say that I can tell you some traditions that would happen year in and year out near the holidays that don't happen anymore for me. So I was, I guess, a bad passer owner of any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, none of that stuff carries on in my world.
Did you make any new traditions with your kids?
No, I mean, there's stuff that we do regularly, but nothing that I think would really qualify. Nothing that I consider to be a tradition, right?
You guys don't have you for definitely sure on either Christmas or around Christmas, you're gonna sit down at the table as a family.
Yeah. But that's a moving target depending on people's travel and other schedules. And like last year we did that Disney cruise where we left a day or two after Christmas. And so, we've kind of gotten to the evolution of really, and obviously like we're not 100% successful with this, but we've tried to gear more toward experiences, and if we can plan a big trip and have it be revealed at Christmas versus buying a bunch of junk and stuff.
Right. Experiences over things. That's what we do in the Barry White household. We still give each other things as well, usually, but mostly we try to do
right.
Yeah, right. We try to do experiences over things.
But so last year it was the Disney cruise. The year before that, we planned a cruise where it was really involved my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. I think we did that one in February, but we announced it all or quote gifted it in December. This year, it's not really the Christmas gift, but the Elkton Magic cruise that we're doing in April, that right there, which I've popped up if you're watching the video of this, that's April 13th through the 20th. GoWithLisa.com/group/Elkton Magic. I've posted it a bunch of places on my social media. Yeah, by 3-4, maybe 5 p.m. on the afternoon of the 13th, we'll be hearing that bad boy as we're about to set sail. Sales are going fairly well for that, which is good. We have not yet hit the mark that we need to hit to be able to get access to all of the performance space, but it's moving. So that's good. It's positive. My hope is that people realize that something like booking a cruise requires a degree of planning and you can't do it last minute. I mean, some people can, but like the last minute element of this, you're not going to get the cabin that you want, right. For this cruise, I have one of those aft corner cabins that's a suite that has the big ass wraparound balcony. And it's not because I paid a ton of extra money. It's just because I booked early enough that it was still available when it was. And then my kids are coming too, and they are in a room that is, I think it's across the hall and one door down or something. So they'll have their own cabin, but they're literally like across the way from us, which makes life easy. We can go do your thing, leave us alone.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. The cruise that we're taking in March, we booked it with moms, and so we're all in the same cabin, right? Because you only get one free cabin, and initially it was supposed to be one queen size bed and one twin, but then when we're checking it, it said 2 twin beds. We're like, that's not going to work.
Well, here's what you're going to have, most likely, and I don't know the specific line that you're on. But but it's owned by Carnival, right?
Yes.
You're okay. So it's probably going to be somewhat similar, at least in the Carnival cabins. What most of them have is either 2 twin beds on the floor, or you tell them to put them together. And if they haven't put them together yet, you just tell your attendant or your cabin steward, and they take care of it. But then you're also most likely going to have like a convertible bed. Or something that pulls out of the wall or something like that.
Or a couch that turns into a bed or something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. And it's going to be one of the things where you're going to wake up, and I'm trying to think of this might have been on the Disney cruise where we had this, where except on the Disney cruise, the queen bed was a proper queen bed. It wasn't 2 twins pushed together. So somebody's always fallen in the pit. But there was, the convertible, I don't remember I think it was bunk beds, one of them. And what would happen is we would get up in the morning, we would get out to go about our day. And then, those cabin stewards are in there like right away. So if you were to go to eat somewhere, and then you were on to the next thing, and somebody's like, oh, hold on, I need to stop back at the room for whatever, that bed's already back in the wall or wherever.
Right.
Like they're that quick. So, with and especially with like on the Carnival cruise, both the one that I'm going on next month, I could almost say next month. It's a month from tomorrow. Ooh, that's exciting. It's a month from tomorrow. but I'm booked on what's called an Echo booking.
Okay.
And I think I've talked about how I'm basically getting paid to go on this cruise because they're giving me a bunch of free play in the casino, drinks everywhere. We've got the full drink package. We've got a suite. This one, I don't have the nice aft suite with the big balcony or whatever. We're midship somewhere, which is the other preference that I have.
Right.
Echo. Why did I mention that? Oh, when you have a suite or anything premium when you're on these ships, and I don't know that the other ones don't have this too, but that person that is taking care of your room has like 8 rooms or something
Right.
that they're hovering around. That's it.
That's
so
it. One section of one floor.
Yeah, it's literally like if you sneeze loud enough through the door, they might knock on the door and be like, "Hey, do you need some extra tissues?" Like it's
Right.
like they're that. And I'm like, "What else you guys listening to? Whatever. If that's your kink, that's your kink." What's this round? Is that where you line the glass up to the door to listen? I get it.
Yeah. They don't need the glass. The room don't act like the room doesn't have microphones in it already.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah,
I'm sure it
does.
All right.
So next one. Oh, I got my tradition. I open a gift, one gift on Christmas Eve.
Okay, that was something that we used to do.
Yeah, as a tradition, and I still do it to this day. When there's always a gift open on Christmas Eve. Something, right? So it depends on where I'm at, who I'm hanging out with, wherever. I make sure that somebody somewhere at some point in time gets a gift on Christmas Eve. Because when I was a kid growing up, my parents always gave me one gift on Christmas Eve. I couldn't do anything with it until Christmas Day, but I got to see it on Christmas Eve.
Huh.
And I used to really work hard to try to open up like a pack of batteries or 1/2 of a 2-part gift so that my anticipation was really, really high. Right. Yeah. So, all right. Third one. The Day of the Dead is a joyful time that helps people remember the deceased and celebrate their memory. Share a favorite remembrance of a loved one who has passed on. And that one was really cool. It sparked Graham. Shout out to Graham. I called him up to do this one, and he told us a great story about one of his family members, and it was moving. And he thanked me later for doing that one because that was easier for him to pull up. But yeah, that's my one of my favorite ones. Do you have a favorite memory of a loved one who's passed on?
I don't know if I have a favorite memory. I mean, this tattoo that I have on my forearm is a recreation of a tattoo that my now deceased grandfather would have gotten or did have. I mean, it didn't look anything like this when, by the time I was around him and with his age, but it was something that he got in World War II. So, I mean, that's kind of a nice little connection to the past. Not really a story per se.
Yeah. No, there's a story behind that.
Yeah, there's a story behind it. But I mean, it's not the I guess I have a memory of that tattoo from him growing up. He's been gone for almost, it'll be 20 years this April or next April.
Yeah, so that's that's a favorite memory of your grandfather's tattoo. You remembered it so much that you went and got it put on yourself to also keep him in memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is swimming with my dad. My dad could hold his breath a long time when he swam. So I would hop on his back as a kid and he'd swim the length of the pool. And I would ride him like a dolphin. and swim and try to hold my breath underwater as long as possible. I remember doing that back and forth in pools all the time. It was great. I loved swimming with my dad. That's why I love the water now. You know, we used to go swimming all the time and had a blast. And every time when he went to a new place or an apartment, he made sure they had a pool or that there was like a local community pool nearby. So when I went to visit, we always had a pool day, especially in the summer. We always had a pool day. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right. What non-traditional holiday deserves more attention and why?
Well, you know my answer to this question.
You know, share it again.
But it's only a holiday that we get to celebrate every 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know because we did I think we did a live episode.
We did a live episode
this year. In fact, I think I left in the middle of that episode because we had a bat in my office, but that's neither here nor there. The bat thing is not part of the holiday, although maybe it will be next year. Who knows?
And you're Leap Day Willie? Is that the right?
Leap Day William.
Leap Day
William.
Leap Day William.
Leap Day William.
Yeah, his friends may call him Willie. We don't know. But
who knows?
But yeah. I don't know if I have a favorite non-traditional holiday that needs more attention. I'm kind of partial to Labor Day, only because it falls right around my birthday.
Right. Yeah. That tracks.
And so I do enjoy a good Labor Day. Yeah. Yeah, and I can't think of any other holidays that like spring to mind that don't already get a bunch of fucking attention anyway. You know what I mean? All right. I'm gonna skip through some of these because whatever. Okay. You've been invited to attend a Halloween party or Day of the Dead party. What dish do you bring? And what do you do to make sure it's not duplicated?
Who came up with this one?
I think that was my co-host.
Let's see. You'd think I'd have an answer to this question since I came up with it.
Right.
And this is just normal potluck, right?
Just a simple Halloween potluck party.
All right. So depending on where I am, there are, like, if it's around here, home, it's very easy for me to whip something up. There are a bunch of different, what's the word I'm looking for? A bunch of different recipes that you can take. Skyline chili, which is a Cincinnati-based thing, and that we have shipped in every so often because I've got my kids hooked on it. And we usually eat it normally like the traditional way with the spaghetti and then onions, cheese on top and all that.
What spaghetti is not the usual way. Chili on spaghetti is not normal.
For Skyline, for Cincinnati style chili, spaghetti is the normal way.
I'm not knocking chili on spaghetti. I've had it. I like it. I'm just knocking people call it normal. It's not. If you go to an Olive Garden and you get spaghetti, you would be upset if it came out with chili on it. If you went to Chili's and ordered spaghetti, which I don't even know if they have or not, and it came out with chili on it, you would be upset.
Let's go back to the Olive Garden thing. I don't know that I'd be super upset.
You would. If you'd order the all-you-can-eat pasta that comes out with the pasta and your sauce of choice. If chili, I'll say, I want to, maybe upset's not the right word. If chili was on the menu, you'd at least be surprised. Like marinara, Alfredo, bolognese, chili. Although admittedly, if you add some beans to a bolognese, you're getting pretty close anyway.
Right. We're not that far off. So one of the ones I remember making years ago, and it's been a long time, is that you take like a pie plate and then you line that pie plate with cream cheese. Like, so you create like a layer of cream cheese.
Okay.
Then you pour the Skyline chili, which is not like a normal, chili, into that. and then you put cheese on top of it, and it creates this dip. I guarantee you, at least in this area, nobody's bringing that shit. You get this look on your face like you don't like sour cream or cream cheese, rather.
I don't. As much as I love cheesecake, I don't like cream cheese.
Yeah, so that's not going to work for you, but nobody else is going to have that shit at the party that I go to. I guarantee
you got that right. You got that right. That is an easy dish to make up that nobody else is going to bring.
Yeah.
My go-to dish is my homemade banana pudding.
Okay.
And you do run the risk of somebody else bringing that, but it's not that common of a dish. But mine is made with sugar-free pudding right out of a box. And then I take the fresh bananas. So it's not going to be made the same way I make it. I take Nilla wafers. I ground up a handful of Nilla wafers to make the crust. And then I layer pudding, fresh bananas, another layer of cookies, just regular, not crushed up, another layer of bananas, another layer of pudding, another layer of cookies, and then I take 2 bananas, just half slice them, and put them on the top in decoration fashion. Or if I'm feeling funny, I'll make a happy face with the banana as a nose and a smile, and then a set of Nilla wafers as the eyes.
There you go.
Yeah, I've made a banana pudding that had a jack-o'-lantern face with the Nilla wafers. I get creative with my Nilla wafer top on my banana pudding because I like that stuff. I made Christmas trees. I made an Easter bunny. The banana pudding, that's one thing I'm sad that Mexico doesn't have that I'm definitely going to have to bring back when we do our cross the border trek, is I'm coming back with some more banana pudding and Kool-Aid. Although they do have a thing here called Zuko, which is like a powder, like a Kool-Aid powder that you can add to drinks. But I miss the squeezy bottles of the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. They don't have those there.
No, they do not have those here.
Okay.
All right. So let me get to the next one. We'll do one more of these. Maybe we'll do 2 more. I don't know. I got like 3 more. All right. Oh, I like this one. What superstition do you believe in? If you believe in any. And if you do, convince us why we should believe in it too.
A superstition?
Yeah.
I mean, these are all little things. Like if I'm playing craps, the craps table, somebody rolls the dice out.
I had a feeling yours would be gambling based.
Yeah. All my bets go off after somebody rolls the dice off the table. That's a number one. I have other little quirky things about just kind of the flow of the game and people entering the game mid shooter, things like that just kind of set me off. They're not so much superstitions, but that's probably the closest.
If somebody throws the dice off the table, do you leave the table or you just remove your bet from that until the dice roll changes?
Sometimes even mid roll, like if the person gets their rhythm back, then I'll turn them back on, but I don't leave the table.
Gotcha.
I have 1 or 2 spots that I want to be at the craps table. So once I get one of those spots, unless that table is ice cold, I stay there. I keep my spot.
Okay. Where's the spot?
Either ideally 2 left of the stick, otherwise just 1 left of the stick.
Okay. Oh no, so you want to be right next to the stick.
Yeah.
You like it near the stick. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a theater person, obviously. So mine is saying the name of a Scottish play in a theater.
Okay.
I believe in that wholeheartedly, that if you say the name of the Scottish play and you're in a theatrical space, then that space is now cursed. And in order to lift the curse, you have to go out of the theater, spin around 3 times, spit, and say the dirtiest curse word you know, scream the dirtiest curse word you know, and then ask for permission to be let back in.
Interesting.
And that'll lift the curse. And I believe it wholeheartedly because I witnessed shit happen that is inexplicable. I witnessed in the theater at my college we were doing the Scottish play, and the not the director, another faculty member. This story's a little sad now. My former colleague Tom Provenzano, the one who passed away earlier this year. So he said the name of the Scottish play.
Now, when you're referencing the Scottish play, you're talking about Out Damn Spot, Out I Say.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Where the female character is Lady Macbeth.
Right.
Right. Or we call it Mackers as well. That's another shorthand for the Scottish play. He said it on stage, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what the hell are you doing?" And he's not a believer in superstition, whatever. That happened on Friday. Over the weekend, the theater almost burned down. There was a lamp up in the rafters that wasn't facing the stage, but was facing like a wooden beam that somehow turned on and was burning the beam because there was a light right on it.
Yeah.
Luckily, our technical director had to go in for some random stuff on Sunday, smelt something burning, saw a little smoke up in the went up and found it and stopped it. But he took a picture and showed us a picture of the beam that was burning, a burn mark.
Yeah.
On the beam that if that had caught fire, that building's gone. Right. And there's no reason why that light should have turned on. There was no power to it. I mean, there's power to it, but none of the other lights were on. It just got a surge of power and started to burn the building down. So we come back Monday, and the director of our play, who's also the dean of the department, made Tom come into the theater. We kicked him out. Somebody watched him spin around 3 times, spit, say the dirtiest curse word he knew. He said cunt. And then asked for permission to be back into the theater. And we all had to give him permission to come back into the theater. And then not a problem from that moment on.
All right.
Yeah. So that is one that I wholeheartedly believe in that I believe a lot of theater superstitions, but a lot of other ones just make sense, right? Like leaving a ghost light on. They say make sure you leave a ghost light on in the theater for the theater ghost. Every theater has a ghost. That one makes sense. You don't want to be walking around a dark ass theater. You're going to crash into a set. You're going to stub your toe. You're going to step on a screw. The theaters are dangerous fucking places.
Yeah.
There's the no whistling on the stage. Right? They say it's bad luck to whistle on the stage. Well, that goes back to the stagehands using to communicate whistling to have them raise and lower shit. So if you mistakenly whistle, you might have something drop on your fucking head. Yeah, shit like that makes sense. The Scottish play is because with the story behind the Scottish play is they say that Shakespeare, in his infinite wisdom, researched a real witch's curse and put it in his play. So the opening line
from the play opens with 3 witches, right?
Yeah, correct. And the opening dialogue was an accurate curse from witches, and ever since then they say that play is cursed.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
Well, now you know.
I
Now you
do.
know. Now you know if you ever see a theater person freak out because you said the name of the Scottish play in the theater space. That's why.
Yeah, I'll just not do that.
Right. It's that part. You don't want something horrible to happen. I've heard stories of people, have said it, and then actors breaking limbs, people getting hurt, weird power outages, just a bunch of spooky ass stories. It's a decent rabbit hole to go down of Scottish play superstition mishaps. All right. This one is kind of fun. Okay, you're at a Day of the Dead party or a Halloween party, and now you own your own business, so this may be hard for you to imagine, but imagine if you're an employee at your business.
Okay.
And you see a superior arrive to the party dressed in a costume that is offensive or at least in poor taste, right? So this is a Day of the Dead party, and somebody arrives in a Freddy Krueger outfit wearing a sombrero, right? That's a little inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible. You're not outright doing blackface, but I mean, you're wearing a sombrero because it's the Day of the Dead, and you're in a Freddy Krueger costume because it's Halloween. That's not good. How would you respond?
How much have I had to drink?
That is the exact opening sentence of the person I chose. It depends on how much I drank and how much I want to engage.
And it's important because how much I had to drink determines how public versus how private my approach is.
Right. So let's say you're 100% sober.
Oh, then I'm just going to approach the person. I'm going to pull them aside and be like, bro, you might not have done the math here, but let me do it for you.
Excellent. Now, let's say you're 3 tequilas in.
Well, then I'm in the bathroom puking my brains out. But
all right, so you're one or three. What's your go-to party drink?
You can give me some whiskeys or some beers or anything but tequila, really. Depending on exactly what their faux pas is, I may be bringing attention to it publicly, loudly, as much as possible across the room. So
we talked about tequila with me. Matter of fact, we have an entire episode labeled what tequila does for me. What I call tequila loudmouth soup.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I went to tequila. But let's say you're 3 drinks in, and you're feeling good. How public do you make that?
It's the moment. I'm creating it for the whole room. Everybody that's there is going to know.
Excellent. And no consideration whether this is your superior at work or no.
Oh, I was going to quit that job anyway.
Fair enough. That's a good way to go out with a blaze of glory.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the table topics went over very well at the Toastmasters. Thank you for that prompt. It gave me the last 3 that I had was you've been invited to a party. What would you do to make sure that your holiday event was one that people will be talking about for years to come?
Oh, that's nice.
Right. And then
hypnosis show.
Right. Tell us a story of the most scared you've ever been. Have you ever been scared? Like that you remember?
Not that I really remember. I'm sure that I have. I know that I have. I can't place a specific situation though.
How about with your kids as a parent? Was there ever a time when you were scared for your child?
Not intensely. Like little things here and there, but nothing major.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, were you were you, if your child was being bullied, are you the type to go to the school and address the child, address the parents, address the school, tell the child to buck up? And
I probably start with telling my child to basically fight back.
Right.
And then depending on the nature of it, like I'm the kind of person that's like, you go do this. This is how to respond to it. Well, what happens if I get in trouble for that? I'm like, let them call me to the school to talk about this whole situation and why you hit somebody and told them to fuck right off. Let them
Right.
invite me in.
Right. You don't go there. You wait for them to come to you. You give your child the advice of how to handle that situation
and how to get them to come to me. Yes.
Right. Yeah, not having kids, I've always wondered what my reaction would be, because my knee-jerk reaction is I'm going to go find that child's parents and beat the shit out of them. But then I realized that that was my knee-jerk reaction. Then I realized violence isn't the way I move through life.
Right.
So I would probably address the school first. And then, I definitely would talk to my child. My child would not handle being bullied well. Because I didn't handle being bullied well. So I would make sure that my child also did not handle being bullied well, and there would not be seen as a target for bullying.
Yeah.
Because if you get bullied once, you make sure that never happens again. And you do it in such a public fashion that nobody ever bullies you again. But you also don't become the bully.
Right.
Don't do the vice versa. Move through life, but just know that you're not someone that people should fuck with. You want that to be the thing. Little Sexy is a cool little kid. He's fun. He's happy. But look, don't piss Little Sexy off. He will fuck you up. Don't get fooled by his name. Yeah. So that was it. That was a lot of fun. Tonight, the theme is Halloween. And so I'm pretty sure the table topics are going to be around that as well. I'm the official timer for tonight, so I don't have that's my official role, which is really easy. I just got to watch my clock and hold up the red and yellow and green time cards. So that'll be interesting. Nilla, as I said, is giving her icebreaker speech, which she's working on right now. I'm sure it's going to be amazing and wonderful. I'm doing everything in my power not to invite every single person out to Toastmasters to watch her speak, which is my knee-jerk reaction, because I'm always proud of anything she does and I want everybody to see it. But I don't know if she's, the type that wants everybody to come see her one little icebreaker speech. What have you. So I invited a few people. Some people I thought would be interested, and anybody who asked what we're doing tonight, I always mention it so that some people know. Like, I didn't go outright make a flyer and a post and everything, but I did. Speaking of flyers, looking at your flyer for the Elkton Magic Cruise, that's this one here. Yeah. Makes me realize that I need to make a flyer for Nilla's 50th cruise. And so I'm gonna go on, I guess, Canva maybe, or something. I think my wife has a account with Canva, so I can just log in and create with her account and create a flyer for her 50th and make that and put that here so I can have Nilla's party cruise in March, which is just about 1 month from your cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Princess. And I think we have a balcony, because I specifically chose one that had a balcony. I don't do interiors anymore, and so we'll see if they get the bedding right. But we'll make it work. We'll figure it out. My mom's on the ball with that. And I got next week, if I remember, and I probably won't, so you'll probably hear me say it again next week. Next week, I need to start looking at the amenities on board and start, seeing what we want to pay for, which ones we don't want to pay for, so on and so forth. Oh, hey, we got a scammer in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a real person. It's somebody trying to.
It's on Twitch.
So cute.
Oh wow, they got the name of this person is earnapp_free_money_in_bio_ go fuck yourself. And it says accurate. It says what's up, AYY what's up, and then it's a picture of Trump.
Yeah.
Boo earns, go fuck yourself. Not a fan.
Yeah.
But I do have some friends over there on Instagram. I like to check them out. Shooting out to my friend Hasna. What's up, Hasna? And Violeta. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a good time wherever you are in the world. I appreciate all our listeners. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, we performed last night.
Oh, okay. The band?
At the band at an open mic. We performed here and there a few songs, just like our top hits. But it was a lot of fun. Met some really cool people. Shout out to Bronwyn, who is a singer songwriter. I followed her on Spotify. She has a gorgeous voice and plays the guitar. She performed, and that was really cool. Another woman there named Elisa performed. I want to give a shout out to Katarina, who it was her very first time performing in public.
Oh, nice.
And she wanted Graham to play the guitar. And Graham mistakenly just said, "Do you know the chords?" You need more than the chords, Graham. You don't know the rhythm. You don't know key changes. You don't know the song. So it doesn't help you just to know the chord progression if you don't know when to progress in said chords. But she ended up singing it a cappella. It was a medicine song. It wasn't like a popular song. But I was very happy. And I was like, "Congratulations, good job." And she was very much, no, whatever. I said, "This is your first time performing, right? First time ever getting on the microphone and singing. Doing that, congratulations. You did more than most people do." So if you're listening to this, Katarina, thank you again for sharing. We appreciate that. Bronwyn and Lisa, thank you all again. Shout out again to Graham and Celine for being amazing bandmates and singing and having a good time. Yeah, so we had a good time. Shout out to Cafe Bajo, where we hosted the open mic, and it looks like it's going to be every Wednesday night. And we'll be able to go because it's Survivor night, so my wife doesn't care what I do. And so I'll be able to go out and sing and have a good time and host it. Graham apparently has never hosted an open mic before. I said, "Well, luckily, Graham, you know me. I've been a host before. I know how to host these things." So he goes, "Oh, you should have told me." I'm like, "Bro, I didn't know you didn't know. Like, how am I going to know that you don't know? I don't know what you don't know unless you tell me what you don't know. I know what you're right. So I'll just, from now on, Graham, I'm just going to assume you don't know how to do it. And then I will offer my services from that point on." But yeah, it went really good. I had a lot of fun. It's still been raining here every single day. So that's cool. We went to Sam's Club today. Our first trip out there? We have a Sam's Club here. We went out to Sam's Club. We bought a few things for the house, and we're going to go online. They have a free delivery service. So we're like, we're not going to purchase anything heavy as shit. We're going to just order it through free delivery and have somebody else bring it over. Right? But we did pick up a few things, some stuff for dinner and some things we needed around the house. But yeah, the Mahjong community is growing strong. Man, Playa is really doing well for us. And as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it in the bank episode. Yeah, I think I mentioned on the bank episode. But breaking news now. It's not breaking news because I already broke it in the previous episode. But
if you did it in the bank episode, nobody's going to hear that for who knows how long.
Right. So big sexy news. Wow. We're in talks now about staying in Playa for at least another year.
Nice.
Instead of going back to Spain in September of 2025, we might wait until September of 2026 to go back. One, it gets us further out of debt. Two, we're growing our communities here. We're both very productive here. We both are succeeding here in ways that we haven't been able to yet. It's easier to do that when you have one location for long term versus having to bounce around week to week. So we're in talks of what that looks like, how that's going to happen, and all those things. So stay tuned, Sexy World Travelers. There's always changes. Our schedule is always fluid. We're not sure what we're going to do. If you're a Spanish listener or a listener who happens to be living in Spain and this breaks your heart, tell us. Send us a message. engage, reach out. You know, one of my difficult things to do is to let people down. And if you make enough ruckus, I'll consider going back to Spain early. But that means you also have to become a paid subscriber.
Yeah, for sure. It ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. You gotta make it make sense. And right now, the finance of it doesn't make sense. So
I've always had enjoyable times anytime I was in Mexico, and most of the times I was in Mexico was in the region that you're in right now, so it's not surprising to me.
right, and it's the Caribbean, so it's gorgeous and it's warm waters. And oh man, the speaking of warm waters, the beach is gone. The water, the tide rose high enough that the beach is underwater, and the water is up against the buildings.
Weird.
I had never seen anything like it. And then our friend Lena, shout out to Lena, who's on Instagram, posted her and her guy Cecilio were out swimming in the beach or whatever. And she was standing at the shoreline where the water was lapping up, very strong waves. And she spun the camera around to her left. And where there used to be tons of beach was none. And it was really, I was like, that's weird. But I guess it's been raining that heavy and, storming that heavy. So, it happened. So listeners, stay tuned. I'm going to make my way down there and take a video of it and take a look and see what happened. But yeah, that's insane. The first time I've ever experienced anything like that.
That's unique.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So can't wait to get footage of that. Yeah, man. But it's a busy weekend. It's holiday season. Well, it's Halloween season, spooky season, and Dia de los Muertos. So there'll be some fun. So my guys, stay tuned to the Instagram at Big Sexy Nomad for a lot of the fun stuff that's happening. How's the YouTube channel going? Are you getting closer and closer?
Yeah, I get a few subscribes every day. It seems it's crawling there.
I put the promo video together. Have I shared the promo video? Have you seen your promo video?
I don't. What do you mean?
I made your YouTube call to action.
Oh no, I don't think I've seen this.
Okay, I think I'll send you the link. I thought I posted it, but again, I've been running around like a crazy dude, so not sure what's what. Look, I made sure that there was an episode dropped yesterday, so I was good on that. And I don't have an episode yet. There's no bonus episode this Saturday. Again, hopefully I can get an interview in, but the two people that I've tried to interview have both canceled on me. So I might get one more interview today, maybe. I don't think I have time, so we'll see. We'll see. But the good news is with this pod tracker, I can just go record it and be good.
Yeah.
And then get it uploaded. So if I can make one happen today or tomorrow, guys, you'll have a bonus episode last week.
Excellent.
If there was no bonus episode last week, now you know why this week. Yeah. If there was one, now you know why this week. But yeah. Anything you got to promote coming up anytime soon?
I mean, we're in the time of year where most of my gigs are private. So my first public gig for 2025 that is actually scheduled and you can get tickets to it, I believe, is February 1st. I'm also going to be, I've been hired by an Alzheimer's organization who's having a banquet on February 22nd, and I'm the entertainer for that. So it's like a buffet dinner with raffles and prizes and a hypnosis show. And yeah, that's in February. Oh no, I do. I have a public show January 10th at Cult Classic Brewing down in Stevensville, Maryland. That's that brewery that's super cool that we did a show last year at.
Oh, cool.
Back.
Awesome sauce. Well, guys, go check out all the stuff. I'm pretty sure you can find all that and more at at betweentwominds.com.
Yeah, betweentwominds.com is cool. Is a good spot for it, or judgmentalist.com.
Judgmentalist.com.
Yeah.
And be sure to check out our merch over there at whereisbigsexy.com. Get yourself a lovely initial BSDN initials, or the shirt that says I'm all about that big digital sexy nomad. So you're all about the BDSM with the M in nomad highlighted instead of the N. Enjoy. That's a lot of fun. And then there's also, we haven't really promoted, we haven't talked about it forever, the cheap hooker judgmentalist artwork that Brogan did. That is a lot of fun, and you can wear and sport around. Or get my favorite one, which of course is the Where in the World is Big Sexy. That looks like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. That merch. So swing on over to our merch store at whereisbigsexy.com. Shoot us an email over at bigsexynomad@gmail.com. And most importantly, if you think the show is worth more than $0, swing on over to bullwiththebutthole.com. And join our Patreon. You can join as low for $1 a month. But as with these things coming up, with me being a band and rehearsals and improv, and I just put together a show video for our first show together as a band, all that's going to be up on our paid Patreon behind the paywall. So be sure to join over there. You go to bullwiththebutthole.com and subscribe to Patreon now.
I'm just looking at this illustration of me
as a cheap hooker.
The chief hooker one. Yeah, it's great. Whereisbigsexy.com. Go check that out. It's worth it.
Yeah, for that alone, go check it out. Where, WEAR, is bigsexy.com. Well, guys, thank you guys again for tuning in for another week. We hope to see you all soon. Take care. And within the meantime, safe travels.